look forward to another year of In the Trenches presented by First Star Logistics, but we wanted to give you some big news. This season, you'll find our interviews and keys to Bengals victory on In the Trenches in the First Star Media Group YouTube channel, along with our growing team of Joe Goodberry's Bengals on the Brain and Malik Wright's State of the Jungle. Also, the great folks at First Star Logistics have big plans this season with special giveaways each week the Bengals play. So be sure to visit both channels and our social media pages to stay updated on all giveaways and the latest news on the Bengals. So be sure to subscribe to the First Star Media Group YouTube channel, as after this season, it'll become the channel that will host all our content.
You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, presented by First Star Logistics. Lapham was on the call. Big win for the Cincinnati Bengals, 31-17 over the San Francisco 49ers. Reminder, make sure you get in on First Star Logistics giveaway. Every week the Bengals play during the 2023 season. And Lap, you're fighting that cold, but man, the Bengals defense and offense, big game on both sides of the football.
Yeah, I mean, I'd even say, special teams as well. I mean, it was complimentary football. Offense, defense, special teams. This 49er team had won 11 in a row at home. Purdy had not lost here in San Francisco. He was 8-0. It's tough. The crowd noise is a huge factor. And for them to go into the football game and never trail and ended up winning the football game by 14 points is massive. There's no question about it. It's a big, big win. I think it could be a springboard kind of win where they could stack a few together. This one was extremely significant, to say the least.
The Bengals 3 straight games, opening drive with a touchdown. Joe Burrow threw his 90th touchdown pass of that, and I think it was his 100th touchdown overall on such a big day, 28-32 for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow looked like the Joe Burrow Bengals fans have loved.
No doubt, and his 6 rushes for 43 yards, averaging over 7 yards per rush, a long of 20, were huge as well. He extended drives with his legs and his feet as well as his throwing arm, which was unbelievable. And when he's doing that, it gives another dimension for the offense to take advantage of. And I talked to Joe in the locker room after the game, and just Joe, you look awesome, man. You're 100%. He goes, yeah, I feel pretty good now. And said I worked real hard in the off season on my athleticism, my overall body strength and athleticism. He said, and then it was taken from me. Now I got a chance to show what I had done in the off season, and boy is he ever. I mean, he completed 17 in a row at one stretch during the football game, 28-32. That's like 88% against a defensive football team. That's good. I mean, the 49ers are a legit football team, and I think Joe Mixon running the way he did today, 87 yards rushing on only 16 carries, averaging 5.4 per. And rushing for a touchdown and complimenting the passing attack. There was a lot of complimentary football played on a lot of levels, between the 3 phases of football and within each phase of football. Pass rush complemented coverage complemented pass rush. On the defensive side of it, it was just, one of those games when you play a team that's this good in their place and you play as well as they did, you got to tip your cap to the Bengals.
Defensively, interceptions by both Logan Wilson and Germaine Pratt. Should have been another one that was called back because of a penalty on DJ Reader. That, man, when you look at it, you sit there and you go, form tackling is not allowed to happen anymore when it comes to tackling the quarterback.
I know. It was crazy. I couldn't. That was a head scratcher. There's absolutely no 2 ways about that. But, yeah, I thought, going into this football game, you got to give credit to the opponent. They have Greenlaw, they have Warner at the linebacker position, and a lot of people in the National Football League thinks that's the best tandem, the best duo of linebackers. Well, Pratt and Wilson outplayed them today, so I think that was important to those 2 players, Lou Anarumo's defense and the football team in the ultimate outcome of the game. And Greenlaw and Warner are good football players, but there's no doubt that Logan Wilson and Germaine Pratt, Lou Anarumo has gone on record saying he wouldn't trade him for anybody. They love Lou Anarumo. The synergy and the chemistry between, coach, player, teammates, it's extraordinary on that side of the football.
Let's go back to offense and talk about the offensive line. Frank Pollock, a former 49er, Super Bowl winner with the 49ers, had to be very excited because his guys played big today.
They did play big, and The 49ers had 100 players from various Super Bowl teams back here for a reunion, and Frank played on one of those teams. So he saw some guys at the hotel last night, and, he had fun with his 49er teammates and his family. And I saw him this morning. I'm like, a big night? He goes, yeah, but the icing on the cake will be beating the 49ers. And I saw him after the game. I said, Coach, icing, man, you got a lot of icing. You got 2 inches of icing on that cake. So yeah, it was a big day for Frank Pollock. I thought his guys, the run blocking was really good. Pass protection was sound. I thought they played at a very high level. There's no doubt.
There early on, we thought Trey Hendrickson was going to be lost for the day. He ended up with 1.5 sacks, I believe it was, on the day. Any word on how that ankle, foot, whatever it was that got dinged up earlier?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those, Dave, you've been around the game a long time. It's like, how's it going to feel tomorrow morning, I mean, I'm sure they're going to make sure that he gets some treatment on the flight. I'm sure they'll have hot and cold treatments back there, and they'll be making, just taped up to prevent as much swelling as possible. But you'll know better tomorrow after he sleeps on it overnight, see what kind of damage was done. But he's a warrior, man. He got it out with a big old dog gut. There's no doubt.
How big is it to get it when you go to the West Coast? They had the bye week. That helps a lot. They come away with a big win. But it, as we've talked about many times, it will not get any easier because they're going to welcome in the Buffalo Bills next Sunday night in a primetime showdown against teams that are looking for the same goal, to get to an AFC championship and to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, talked about it at the end of the broadcast. They went undefeated in the NFC West. That's great. That's 4 wins. But it's nothing. The reason that they're in last place now with the tiebreakers is they're 0-2 in the division. We talked about it now ad nauseum. I mean, it's a fact. They're going to have to start stacking some AFC wins, and the best way to do it is to knock off the Buffalo Bills, who, I mean, they're playing good football. They're inconsistent with their play. Bengals certainly can beat the Buffalo Bills, and that's going to be a big game on Sunday night. That's the next game of now it's 10 games remaining, 10 one-game seasons remaining. They got to make sure they take care of business against the Buffalo Bills, and they get them at Paycor, and it's going to be wild, man. It's going to be electric there for sure.
Lap, we know you're fighting that cold, and you got to get the bus to get back home to Cincinnati, so you take care of that. Last final thoughts before we go here on In the Trenches with Dave Lapham, presented by First Star Logistics.
Well, the Bengals won areas that they needed to win, Dave. Talked about it a lot in the first half. The Bengals were dominant on first down. I mean, out of their first 225 yards, 175 yards of it came on first down. They barely got to third down. They were killing them on first down. I thought that was a big key in the football game. I thought, they won the turnover battle. That was huge. In the red zone, they went 4 for 5, 4 touchdowns and 5 red zone possessions. Unfortunately, had the fumble, Irv Smith Jr., but that red zone production at 80%, you'll take that all day, every day. So a lot of areas that you need to perform well in to win football games, they did against a very, very good opponent. So they should feel proud and they should feel satisfied for sure.
Lab, safe trip home. Take care of that cold. We will see you in the trenches later this week at the First Star Logistics Studios.
You got it, Dave. Thanks, man.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.